Sci-Fi Surprise time with Son of Hercules, Land of Darkness. Hey everyone, it's Shannon here, and I'm continuing my exploration through 50 titles in the science fiction collection. And today we have the 37th selection, Son of Hercules, Land of Darkness. It's not. There we go, Land of Darkness. So, what to say about Son of Hercules, Land of Darkness? Oh, that's really not clear. My new lighting scenario is good for the lighting, but making that a little too bright. Maybe I can make this, do that. Ah, there we go. So, first question as always, is this a science fiction film? I'm sure I don't surprise anyone by saying no, it is not a science fiction film. Son of Hercules, Land of Darkness is actually sword and sandals, and if you're generous, you could extend that to sword and sorcery. The other part of that is it a film? I'm not sure. This is actually one of the first titles I've actually had trouble even finding anywhere on IMDb. It actually is another known title is Hercules-invincible, which is actually way less accurate because we actually do follow the son of Hercules, Hercules. So Hercules is not in this. So Son of Hercules, Land of Darkness, definitely a better title. But I actually think my interpretation of this one is it probably is put together as a film as a bunch of serials, either like Captain Crunch, like either short films or maybe things that that were shown before films or something like that, because it feels like you can feel the breaks. It's sort of in 15-minute bunches, and there is a theme song that is actually the Sons of Hercules. Not the Son of Hercules, but the Sons of Hercules. So I thought I was going to look it up. Maybe it was a TV show or something like that. So following difference, I couldn't find any more information other than this title, following Hercules. So that's a bit of a mystery. The cuts were really horrible, especially since when it goes to the last part, it actually has what you will be seeing is Hercules doing this, Hercules doing that, so that kind of sucked. Although the theme show part, like the theme song and stuff like that, showing the little clips and stuff, was actually pretty entertaining, but not when you're watching it as a movie, because those clips come from somewhere. Like, those clips come from probably the best parts of the movie, right? So, anyway, putting that aside, even though I did look here and it does say Son of Hercules, it is called Sons of Hercules or Hercules-invincible. So it's a bit all over the place. That being said, it does follow Hercules, a son of Hercules, and his heroic adventures, saving people, fighting monsters, fighting animals, and tyrants. Or tyrants. No, I would say tyrant would be plural there. Now, this one's a bit of a doozy because, although there's a lot of sort of fun adventure elements for sure, going to different places, having to conquer different fight many battles, that kind of stuff. Hercules even has a sort of goofy sidekick that does the comic relief, oh no, I can't help you, oh no, kind of stuff. I couldn't figure out what his character was. He was part of the first village, but he hid when it was invaded, and then just sort of stayed there. I don't know. He seemed looked kind of like a friar, but do you think he was more of I don't know. In the film, he acts as sort of like a jester in a weird way. Anyway, so a lot of physical comedy, some Hercules to talk to, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so that was, and there are some pretty big heroic, battles and stuff like that, and some pretty dramatic scenes and interesting characters and that kind of stuff. So it had a fair amount going for it. For me, I had several challenges with this one, though. One of them, and this is sort of just of the times kind of stuff, and it hasn't come across in many movies, but it came up in The Lost Jungle, which made a little more sense. But in this one, it does appear in this film that actually Hercules is fighting animals. There's a fight with a lion, and some of it's the actor with a furry something, but some of it looks like a person fighting a lion. Like, so now we wouldn't really do that because there's a lot more awareness and, cruelty to animals, and, we don't do that. That's really, it's really bad. And it is bad. Animals have their own lives. So that was weird. And I always find that a bit of a double-edged sword because I love lions, absolutely adore lions, but just to see it in this context feels weird. And then there was also elephants, which is amazing. You don't often see elephants, but that was a lot of close cropping and stuff like that, so it's hard to tell that. And then, like, getting into spoiler land, maybe, I don't know. And then this one I couldn't tell. I can't tell if it was an effect or if it really was like a dancing bear, and it makes me so sad if it's supposed to be a dancing, like a bear that's up on its hindquarters. One time it was definitely a person in a suit, there's no problem. But a lot of times it really did look like a bear, so that was a bit weird. So, anyway, so that makes, for me, there's things like that, when you see an older film, that it might have been more acceptable at the time, and it isn't really acceptable now. Now we would use CGI, or, animals have wranglers and trainers, and it's very, most big budget films are, North American films, it's pretty above board, I would think. So anyway, so that just gets it complicated. So there's that. That's an issue for you. You may not want to watch this one. And then second, the fact that it's this compilation really, really was weird. Like, honestly, in the first 15 minutes, there's this huge epic battle with Hercules. Like, I thought the entire film would have been what happened in the first 15 minutes. I was like, okay, well, what's going to happen for the next hour and 5 minutes? Because I thought that was the movie. And so there's a bit that feels like filler and stuff, and there is lots of adventure stuff, and there is some interesting stuff going on, and a lot that's lost in translation. But how it's put together is really, like, really abrupt. Like, just cut in the middle of a line, and then, like, go to something else, and then, like, sometimes has these inserts of what this next section will be, or the last section would be. And for me, all of that made it really not a very overall enjoyable viewing experience, because like, I know it's on a collection, so it's no big deal, but like, if I bought this singularly as this one title, I would have been totally miffed. Like, that's just not acceptable. Like, you think you're getting a movie, and you're getting sort of this cross-cut bits of this, that, and the other thing. So that didn't really work for me. But there are some really charming things about it. These are the kind of films that, like, visually, I love how it's not that restored, and the color bleeds, and just, like, that kind of stuff is very, like, I just find that very heartwarming, to be honest. Like, that's just kind of goofy. The guy who plays Hercules is actually pretty good. He's huge. Like, I'm sure that's part of why he was cast. He's a really big guy, and so he feels like he's the son of Hercules. I'm sure probably in other movies he could have played a Hercules, no problem. But it does sort of drags a bit, a little bit in the middle, and leads up to some pretty dramatic stuff and pretty exciting adventure. And it's a lot of the places and stuff, and like the tyrant, and there's like this lair thing, but it's kind of confusing because it feels like it's off on this other place, and then like they go across this weird let's say, I won't give everything away, but like, sometimes spatially the relationships between places didn't seem to make sense. Like, I thought after they go here, they would be there, and now they're somewhere else, and they don't know where they are, although it felt like they finally figured out this is the place to go. Stuff like that. And of course, could be really cut in a weird way, plus lost in translation. It is Italian film, so it's dubbed, so who knows. So it had enough going for it to be engaging, but it definitely had some factors in it, be it the animals or the cutting, that just didn't, like, overall makes it pretty messy of a film. So that was Son of Hercules, Land of Darkness. I only have, apparently, when I look at the list, there is only one more Hercules title, so I'm really hoping since I've had several in a row, I'm really hoping that the next title will not be a Hercules title, because I started this one and stopped it because it was very jovial. The Son of Hercules, blah, 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 Hercules doing things, lifting things, ripping things apart, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not right in that kind of mood. So let's see. Hopefully the next one will be perfectly suited to whatever mood I'm in whenever I watch it, and it is this one. Let's see. What shall it be? The Phantom Planet! That sounds science fiction to me. That's what this is all about. Alright, Phantom Planet with Dean Fredericks from 1961, black and white. Hook me up! I am excited. I'm excited. This one, pretty bottom of the barrel. Phantom Planet, hopefully awesome. So, as again, I am trying to get through, hoping to finish this up by the end of the year. Fingers crossed, that'll still happen. 37, 38, only 12 to go. I think it's possible. I'm not looking at the calendar when I'm saying that. Thanks so much for watching.